Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. In this video, we are going to be doing our post-match review of the Bledisloe Cup first match that we just witnessed between the Wallabies and the All Blacks. But if you do enjoy this video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. As you can see here, the score in that one, All Blacks were able to score 33 points, Wallabies 25. Close game in the end. Only 8 points difference between the two sides. And it was an interesting game, to say the least. It was kind of early on in that second half, the All Blacks started to run away with it, but then the Wallabies able to fight right back, scoring 3 late tries. There were no tries in this one up until the 36th minute, but for the try scorers for the All Blacks, it was Sevu Reece who was able to get one very close to halftime. Richie Mo'unga, also David Arveli and Damian McKenzie were the other 2 try scorers for the All Blacks. Then looking at the Wallabies, Andrew Callaway was the man who was able to get the first try of the match. Tom Banks picking up 2, and then Jordan Ulysses scoring in the 80th minute. But I do appreciate you guys all being here for the short post-match review that we are going to be doing of this one, talking about some of the interesting stats that we saw throughout this one, and kind of a little bit into maybe how we think the second game will be going as well. But we have got Katie with the golden 100s in the chat. Anyone who isn't aware why we are wearing a suit for this one, it is because of the fact that this was our 100th Rugby Union live commentary live stream that we did on the channel. The first of which being the first Bledisloe Cup match that happened last year. So in 9 months, we've done over 100 now, or we are on our 100th, so that is pretty awesome. But at this stage, we will look through some of the stats to do with this match. First of all, possession was 53% for the All Blacks in this one, 47% for the Wallabies. I believe territory was a little bit in the All Blacks' favour as well, and 4 tries apiece. Defenders beaten extremely close, 20 to the All Blacks, 21 to the Wallabies as well. So it's one of those ones, both sides had very good opportunities throughout this one. Eden Parkhurst saved us. Lolesio missed kick. Yeah, that's the thing. Unfortunately for Noah Lolesio, I believe he kicked, I think it was 2 from 7 or 2 from 6 in this matchup. So not his best kicking day, that is for sure. But yeah, at the end of the day, they were very lucky, probably not to concede more points at times, the All Blacks, after giving away 16 penalties throughout their match. There were also other advantages. I was kind of surprised that there were no All Blacks players who ended up going to the bin in the later stages of that match because of how many they gave away inside of their own 20-year. All the AB's boys were eyeing up Smith, as Oel says, back over to Bolivia in the chat. But at this stage now, we are going to be looking at some of the defensive stats as well. I know that the All Blacks, they actually missed a few tackles in that first half, but in the end, only missing the 13 with 111 tackles made, and 16 missed by the Wallabies with 120 they were able to make as well. But player stats, I feel like there was one man who came to mind in that first half, and that was actually Hunter Paisami. But unfortunately for him in that second half, it just seemed to all go wrong. He was helping Andrew Callaway get that first try, and he was putting in some big hits on the All Blacks, being physical in the midfield, which then caused a few handling errors and whatnot for the ABs. But then from there, second half, and possibly you could argue in the first half as well, it was Richie Mo'unga just having a very good day in that number 10 jersey. 53 metres carried, 6 carries in total, 4 defenders beaten, and also 1 clean break, which led to a try as well from, it was actually an interception pass from Hunter Paisami, unfortunately. That did lead to that one. We have got 17 unanswered points for the Wallabies in the end of the game. We'll give them plenty of confidence, ahead of Bledisloe 2 next week. Yeah, that's the thing. The Wallabies didn't play too bad in this one. Overall, I found that they did pretty well with what they had on offer. At some stages, they unfortunately, the kicking game did let them down a little bit. We didn't actually see a single 50-22, so both sides marking that very well, but also both sides not really going for that too often throughout these matches. And we have got the All Blacks had good tries, and the Wallabies played like something as well, says Caleb. And also we have got these ABs where average tonight, says Marco Vonopolvia. And I think one thing for sure that they will want to work on in this game, the All Blacks, is that discipline. Like I mentioned, 16 penalties conceded compared to the 8 of the Wallabies as well, which is just not what you want to see. And it's kind of one of those ones that in the game against Tonga and also the game against Fiji, they also had quite a few of those penalties conceded. Handling errors were thick and fast in the first half, but overall there was still some very good running rugby throughout this game for both sides. The backline's looking decent, and I'm looking forward to the second match that we are going to get to see. Lolesio could have evened out the scores if he had his kicking boots on. Yeah, unfortunately, you got to feel bad for the man, ending up with about 2 from 7, I think it was, in the end for him. And yeah, that is definitely not what he would have been wanting in that one. I am just going to see whether or not we can see. He got one penalty goal, and also 1 conversion, but it doesn't tell me how many he ended up missing in that one. But I see that Brodie Retallick and also Akira Ioane both giving away 3 penalties each in this one. David Havili giving away the 2, and Patrick Tuipulotu coming off the bench. He actually made 10 tackles while he was working hard out on the field, and that was only in the last 20 minutes or so of the game as well. Dutton Publi, 13 tackles made. Michael Hooper, 14. So both number 7s working extremely hard throughout this one, and there were hardly any turnovers won throughout this match for the Wallabies. Only the one, and that was Brandon Paianga-Mosa, who was able to do so. A bit rusty for the AB, says Ray Mantis. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how the second half, or the second match, I should say, of the Bledisloe. I guess it is almost a little bit like a second half, because it is going to be from the exact same ground next week at Eden Park, where the All Blacks still haven't lost since 1986. They will be wanting to extend that for a little bit longer, and if they can get the win over, it will be the Wallabies once again. If they can do that, they will be very happy heading into Perth, where the third match of the Bledisloe Cup will be taking place. Good point. Lodisio had a shocker. Yeah, unfortunately, the worst thing is he actually had a decent day when he had the ball in hand. Like, he set up that try of Tom Banks with a little grubber in behind, where Tom Banks was able to kick it forward a little bit further and score himself the first try that he was able to get. But unfortunately, yeah, just off the tee, just wasn't striking it well, Noel Alessio, and he will be disappointed with that. But hopefully he does build from there. He is still young. At the end of the day, his debut was against the All Blacks in the Bledisloe Cup last year, the first match, when he did now only have 5 international caps at this stage. So he's still very young. Matt Tamua off the bench, though, I will say, was quite an impact player for the Wallabies, looking very strong, making his way out onto the field. Only made the 1 tackle, but certainly was able to help set up a few of the tries. Penalties galore, says Marco Vonopolobia as well. Yeah, a total of 24 in this match between the two sides. I want Foster gone so badly, says Lex Axel. And also we have got there, it looks like you just won the lotto with the suit as well, says Face Dope Gaming. Although, I guess in a way, I mean, 100 live streams that we have done on the channel for rugby matches feels like a pretty awesome achievement. That is why we have got that golden 100 for you guys who are the members. But at this stage, we have still got plenty more live streams coming in the future. But yeah, 12 tackles also made by Harry Wilson. So the loose forward trios, it was interesting. The 2 who were the most quiet almost in the loose forward trios were the 2 that I thought were going to have the busiest games, which was Rob Valentini and also was Ardie Savio. I actually made a comment at one stage for Rob Valentini. He was holding the ball for Noel Alessio, and I said that it was almost the first time we've seen him with ball in hand, because of the fact he just didn't seem to have too much of an impact. He did very well to hold up Ardie Savio at one point to try and stop that man, but of course, it's very hard to stop Ardie Savia when he is wriggling around. But David Havili in the midfield also making a few meters, 39 meters carried for that man. But yeah, it's going to be exciting to see how the second match of the Bledisloe Cup goes. And it is going to be next week, same time, 7:05 p.m. We have still got another game tonight, which is going to be the British and Irish Lions taking on the Springboks. That's going to be the third match of their series, and it will be the decider. The last time a home side was able to win a Bledisloe Cup, but a British and Irish Lions tour when they lost the first match was 1989. So it has been a fair while as well. And at this stage, you'd say the Springboks going into this match as the favourites. So it's going to be interesting to see how it goes. Well, 100 streams ago, you were a fresh-faced kid. Now you're a grizzled-battled hardened beast as well, says Marco Vonopolivia. Yeah, I feel like maybe a midweek video we could do is going back and reacting to our first ever Bledisloe Cup live stream and just our first international live stream in general. I feel like I can't even remember how it went, but I assume it wouldn't have gone that smoothly overall. I feel like we would have struggled big time with the commentary, but yeah, who would have known that we would have gone 100 more or 99 more after that notice. Rico, Anton, Leonard Brown, and Havili spot position several times. Havili got a try out of it as well, says Lex Axel. And that was another thing that I feel like that midfield of the All Blacks, once they brought on Geordie Barrett, I think they kind of maybe got a little bit muddled because of the fact they brought on Geordie Barrett, who would have replaced, I believe it was Sever Reece. So he would have been almost out on the right wing. So I'm not sure whether or not he tried to swap or they had plans of swapping him with someone in the midfield or anything like that. But I feel like overall, like it just looked a little bit rough from the All Blacks in that last kind of few moments. And you could see it because of the fact that the Wallabies, once again, they were giving away the penalties to the All Blacks. So the Wallabies were just able to pour on that pressure. And as we see, it's coming across very soon for the Wallabies tries. The first one was Andrew Callaway, and that was in the first half, the first try of the game. Then you look at the next few tries. Tom Banks, 69th minute, 74th minute, and then Jordan Ulisi in the 80th. So they got 3 tries in the last 10 minutes of this game. So it's one of those ones that the All Blacks, they'll have to be very careful making those subs, that they make sure that they know exactly where they are going to be playing. And also, got to be careful in regards to the fact that penalties conceded like I mentioned, probably very lucky not to go to the bin, one of the All Blacks forwards, for giving away back-to-back penalties right on the line. Whitelock offloading like he's a Fijian, Sonny Bill Williams, and failing as well, says like Saxel. And also we have got, yes, Box versus Lions. Can't sleep properly, thinking about it. Yeah, it's going to be tough to sleep, that is for sure. I'm hopefully going to be able to go to sleep at about 10 and wake up at 2 and get ready to go for that big match-up. And then we will be going back to sleep after that one, waking up for the Bunnings NPC. So it's going to be a bit of stop-start. So hopefully we can get some good sleep in between. We have got Give Hamish a cap for the Hundies, for the Hundy as well. Says Ray Mantis, maybe we could get one made. As the Kiwi lads, we might end up trying to put a badge or something on the top of it or something along those lines. Gatlin hasn't lost at all yet. Australia, New Zealand, and I've got faith in the man. Huge changes for the Lions, and no fuff. This will be a totally different game, and that's the thing. He added in Josh Adams and also Liam Williams to the mix, which I feel like is one of those ones that maybe he is possibly the little bit of a problem for the Springboks because of the fact, I mean, he was a try-scoring machine throughout the kind of warm-up games in the tour, and to bring him now back in for this final match, hopefully he's still in that form, because if he is, he could be scoring a try in this one. That is for sure. No Fuff and no Peter Steph I'm leaning towards Lions as well, says Marco Van Polar Bear. So it could be a very close game. I'm hoping it will be an entertaining one. Will well and truly wake me up at 3 or so a.m. for this one. And we have got, I reckon D-Mac would be better off bench. That guy is on cocaine 24/7, bro, as well. Says like Saxo, where he could fly through the ceiling. Yeah, definitely an impact player, but it was that try that he scored of his own where it was Aaron Smith who also passed the ball out to him going short side, and him and Smith seem to really work well together. And I feel like that's a combination that they need to keep on using. And I mean, with Aaron Smith still going after 100 caps, he is certainly going to be around for a long time for him to be able to link up with Damian McKenzie and Richie Mo'unga at 10 as well. It seems like that seems to be a combo that has worked well for the ABs with Richie Mo'unga and also Damian McKenzie. So it will be interesting to see whether or not Beauden Barrett gets even as much game time as he got this week. I think they'll give him a little bit more next week, but I think Mo'unga once again has locked in that number 10 jersey. We have got D-Mac had a great game. He did indeed. Played very well out of that number 15, as well as Richie Mo'unga. Opinions on Ardie Savia this match, says Phoenix. I think he was a lot quieter than I expected him to be. Like I said in my preview or my lineups video, I said off the back of the scrum, this man's going to be lethal. And I don't think he got a single chance at the back of the scrum. Unfortunately, just every time there was a scrum, it ended up either being a penalty or a free kick, or just the ball not getting pushed out well enough. I know that the pack weights were 910 to the All Blacks, 909 to the Wallabies. So pretty even in that regard, but the All Blacks just weren't able to push over in that scrum. And Ardie Savia, I don't think he had an open spaced run throughout this one, other than, I believe, that one try that got disallowed when it was a full pass on the halfway line from Aaron Smith to Brodie Retallick. He was actually involved in that one, Ardie Savia, and he did the final pass out into the hands of Sevu Reece, I think it was, if I'm not wrong. But at this stage, other than that, we didn't really get to see too much of him. Same with Rob Valentini. The two players that I thought were going to be dangerous just were shut down in this one. And we have got who was the man of the match as a Wales says thick boy. I didn't actually see it, but if I was to give it to someone, I probably would have either given it to Richie Mo'unga or Tom Banks. But yeah, we will have to wait and see whether or not that would have been the case. Maybe someone else could have put their hand in the cap for that one. Maybe Damian McKenzie could have been up there as well. Love your Drogu Challenge videos, by the way, says Phoenix. And at this stage, I was hoping to get a video of us playing this All Blacks versus Wallabies game before it was happening. But I think that is going to be either a tomorrow or a Monday upload now. But we are playing this match. We have already filmed it. It was me and George. We had Quade Cooper at 10 for the Wallabies as well. So it was a little bit special in that regard. If the ABs performed like that against the Box, that we would get slaughtered. Yeah, you got to make sure that you cut down on the penalties. Is just my big one. Like the handling errors, they weren't great, but then they were well and truly overshadowed by the amount of penalties that the All Blacks ended up giving away. So hopefully next week they will be able to give away a few less. And I'm not sure whether or not it's just trying to do a little bit too much of the rush defense, because I know there were a huge amount of offside penalties among us, our 10 in the debate as well, says Billy Jordan. Also, we have got the ABs forgot to wash so many drop balls as well, says Laxoan. We'd assume the position for the Box plan like that as well, says Laxoan. Can you stream the Tasman game tomorrow, says Johnny Boy. I am hoping to be up for that one. It all depends, though, on how much sleep I can get for between this game and the British and Irish Lions, and then from there after that, because I'm hoping to get somewhere around that 8 hours so that my brain still can put sentences together. So hopefully I can get like maybe 3 or so hours before and then get 7 after, or that's too many, maybe get 4 after and try and squeeze into maybe being able to do that Tasman versus Bay of Plenty game. And then after that, Canterbury versus Auckland as well. Mo'unga goes off, we become useless. As I definitely thought, I guess that was the big turning point in the game as well. Richie Mo'unga, what time did he go off in the game? I think it was around that 62nd minute or so. And yes, Saffers will punish us, if we perform like that. Yeah, you got to make sure those penalties are gone. But who knows? Maybe the second game they will only give away about 10 rather than the 16 that they gave away in this game. Hopefully that is the case, but nonetheless, I think that is almost going to be the end of this post-match review. If you guys did enjoy, be sure to leave a like. Also, subscribe to the channel if you are new. We are going to be back for the British and Irish Lions taking on the Springboks, and also a couple of the Bunnings NPC games tomorrow, perhaps, as well. But then actually the number was not 16, it was 18 in the end against the All Blacks. I thought it was up more than 16. I think they showed 16 and then there were a couple more. So yeah, 18 against the All Blacks in this game. Just too many penalties to be given away. And they probably got a little bit lucky in terms of that scoreline. But nonetheless, that is going to be the end of this one. Nice one, brother. Catch you later as well. And Sir Kiwi as well says a BDG. But yeah, hopefully you guys will be joining me later on for this British and Irish Lions match and then the Bunnings NPC tomorrow. But we have still got the Bledisloe Cup that will be coming next week as well. So we have still got plenty more rugby live streams on the cards. But thank you all very much for tuning in. And I will see you all in a few hours' time for the British and Irish Lions taking on the Springboks.